Hello Science! Hello! I am Lara, this is Theatre of Science. I am trained to teach physics to A level. Now I just stream home ed lessons into the internet for free, but it's worked out well because you wanted to know about theme parks. It's our second theme parks lesson. You don't need to have come to see the first theme parks lesson, but yeah, we're tying the physics into the roller coasters and the theme parks. Today we're just doing anything that kind of does a loop-the-loop or goes round in a circle. So last week we talked about energy. This week we're going to talk about forces. Yeah, okay, we'll go through this question first of all. I won't tell you the answer, but just in case any of you arrived straight away and missed it. This is a picture of a roller coaster from my very glamorous local theme park, Flamingo Land. So I want you to imagine, basically just imagine you're going around a very tight corner, yeah? So let's say you're going from left to right, you swerve around this corner and start going back to the left. When you get to the point where the star is, kind of peak turning the corner, how do you feel? What's your body doing? Do you feel a push towards A? Do you feel a pull towards A? Do you feel a push towards B? Do you feel a pull towards B? Are you getting flung outwards or are you getting flung inwards? Basically, is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to tell you. We're just going to talk about forces and then I'll tell you. If you've got a piece of string with you, just get it. A force is a push or a pull. That is all that a force is. It's just a push or a pull. A force is a push or a pull that changes the motion of something, basically, changes the movement of something. So if you've got a piece of string and it's still, if you apply a force, like if you push it or if you pull it, then it starts to move, right? And if the string was hurtling towards your face, then you could put your hand up to push it and that would stop it moving. So a force is just a push or a pull. It changes the movement of things. Can you think of something that isn't a push or a pull? Get your string, hold it. Maybe that's a little hint. Hold it, kind of pinch it between your fingers. Can you think of any way to move this string that isn't a push or a pull? Some of you have done this with me before, years ago. You could twist it, right? You could twist it. But what is a twist? A twist is just a push or a pull at the same time, isn't it? A force is a push or a pull. Okay, right. Let's get into our imaginary roller coaster of drama and see how we actually behave when we go around that corner. So you're sitting in a roller coaster, right? Picture it, it's all foggy. Do you want to see the actual roller coaster at Flamingo Land? It's just amazing. I feel like this sums up the north of England so well. This is called the Wild Mouse. I don't know, it took me ages to work out what this is. It's like papier-mâché mouse's bum coming out of a really badly painted piece of cheese. Anyway, let's imagine that we're on this thing. We're going forwards. The roller coaster turns to the left. What do? Did you say that you probably said that you got pulled? You might have said that you got pushed outwards towards B, right? So travelling down, swerving the corner, your body goes, ah, doesn't it? It gets flung outwards. Or does it? Right, let's do an activity to teach you how that is actually a lie. Now, there is a name for that I don't even want to... The Institute of Physics that teaches physics teachers how to teach might be a bit cross about me even showing you this word, because I'm going to put this word on the board and then I'm going to tell you that it's not quite centrifugal. You might have heard of it. Centrifugal force. I have to teach you it because we're playing bingo at the end of the lesson and it's going to come up. But centrifugal force is the word to describe that forcey feeling you get when you go around a corner and you get flung outwards. But let's talk about why the Institute of Physics wouldn't really be happy maybe with me teaching you that. And if you do IGCSE physics with me at any point, I definitely won't teach you about that. How we're going to do it is, what you have to do is you get a mug, you get a piece of card that goes on top of the mug. Do this with me now. You need an empty toilet roll tube or just any kind of bit of card that you've sellotaped into the shape of a toilet roll. Put that on top of the card, which is on top of the mug, and then you put, the internet says to use fruit, but I didn't want to bruise my fruit, so I've just got a big ball of Play-Doh, but you could use an apple or an orange. It has to fit in the mug. And then what you do is you hold the mug, and you pull the card and see what happens. Now, I've done this twice on Facebook now, and me being me, I had tried it. And in the lessons I thought, well, this isn't going to work. This is just quite simply not going to work. And then it did, both times. And I couldn't believe it. And I still don't believe it now. So hold the mug, That's important. It's not going to work. What I'm going to do is pull the card away really fast. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? And why? Why is it going to happen? It's just not... What I'm absolutely positive is going to happen is that I'm going to pull the card. I'm going to end up with the card in my hand, right? The mug's going to stay where it is because I'm holding it carefully. And the cardboard tube is going to be pulled away because I've pulled the card away. And the Play-Doh is going to be pulled away because I've pulled the tube away. And I'm just going to end up with this Play-Doh-y cardboard mess on the side of my wall. You ready? 3, 2, 1. It worked again! The Play-Doh ball fell into the mug. How? Honestly, like my entire job is teaching free science lessons into the internet. I've been doing it for 5 years, and there's a practical activity with nearly every single one, and we do 3 a week, and we've never done this, and I can't believe we've never done it. 3, 2, 1. That's 100% success rate. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Why? I'm sorry. I know that you've seen it happening, and this is probably quite boring telly now, but I'm going to do it once more. I can't possibly keep it 100%, can I? 1, 2, 3. Right, I'm leaving it there. 100% success rate. What is that? What is happening? Well, what is happening is this thing called inertia. Now, I get to write that on the board more confidently because inertia is a proper physics thing that you do need to learn about. Inertia, well, usually when I'm finding out definitions on the internet, on fancy physics websites, I sort of simplify them, to help your understanding. I actually couldn't simplify the definition of inertia. This is just a really good definition. Inertia is the tendency of an object to resist changes in motion. The tendency, so objects tend to resist changes in motion. Resist meaning like, don't want to. So objects tend to not want to change their motion. It basically means stuff likes to keep doing what it was doing. Yeah? So this, and it's related to mass. Like the more massive something is, the more inertia it is. I wanted to demonstrate, and I've just shoved it, everything's gone. Where's my Play-Doh? I don't even know. Oh, it's in the mug, obviously. So what's happening is your Play-Doh is is massive. I'll just put that on there so you can see. So you pull the card away. The toilet roll, it doesn't have that much inertia. It doesn't have that much mass. So the toilet roll is fairly happy to move. But the Play-Doh has got a lot of mass. It's quite heavy, basically. So it wants to keep doing what it was doing. It's got inertia. It wants to keep doing what it was doing. It does not want to, it is resisting changes in its motion. It wants to keep doing what it was doing, and what it was doing was just sitting there, right? Still. So you pull the card away, and the toilet roll gets knocked away, but this thing's got inertia, so it stays like more or less where it is enough that finally when gravity does take over and forces it to do something different, it just goes into the mug. So inertia is going to come up in the bingo again, and inertia means things tend to want to keep doing what they are doing. Okay, let's get back in our drama roller coaster. Strap in, folks. You're going straight ahead. Let's find out why this centrifugal... I shouldn't even be saying it out loud. It's not really a thing. You're travelling, you're going forwards, you're going forwards fast. What happens? Well, you've got inertia, right? Your body has mass. Your body doesn't want to stop doing what it's doing, and what it's doing is going in a straight line. So then you get to the curve, and the roller coaster that you are strapped into, which is attached to the tracks, the roller coaster turns. Your body's like, I don't want to do that. I've got inertia. I'm resisting. So it carries on going straight forwards. So when you feel like you're being flung out, you feel like that because you can feel the car pushing against you. So you feel this push, and it feels like you're doing that into the cart. But what's actually happening is, I keep calling it a cart, the roller coaster train is pushing into you. You're travelling straight forward, and the roller coaster train is pushing into you. Is that okay? Which is why centrifugal force gets called an imaginary force or a not real force. Again, this is on the Institute of Physics website. I love this. Seems overly harsh. I've changed it a bit. Centrifugal force is a delusion caused by forgetting you're turning. You're delusional if you think that centrifugal force is a thing. You are not being thrown out of a roller coaster car. It's just the roller coaster car is pushing into you. And you don't have to go on a roller coaster to feel this. When you're in just a regular car, next time you turn a fairly sharp corner, you feel it. You feel like you're getting pushed out, but what's actually happening is the car is turning, and your body doesn't want to. Okay, so that centrifugal force, it's not. It's a pretend feeling. I was going to say something else, and I've lost my train of thought. Going along, turn a corner. I can't remember what it was. It's going to annoy me. I got onto centrifugal force. Anyway, probably doesn't matter. All right, let's check how well you've understood that. Have a little look at this picture. And I've said, can you say a bit about what is happening? Or if you want, you could write down a bit about what is happening. Try and explain to this person what's going on. So we've got this lovely photo here. I don't know which roller coaster this is actually, but these people have come up a hill, they've got to the top of the hill, and now they're speeding down a hill. And the ones at the front have got their arms, I think these guys are pretending, but the ones at the front have got their arms thrown right up, and they're saying, in between all the screaming, "It feels like I'm getting pulled upwards out of my seat." Can you say a little bit to them about what is actually happening? They feel like they're getting pulled out of their seats. Are they getting pulled out of their seats? Is there a force pulling them upwards out of their seats? What is actually happening? You don't have to, obviously, if you haven't followed what I'm talking about, then you won't be able to answer this, which is totally fine. It's just a little bit of a chance to think about it, and then I will give you the answer, and hopefully if you don't understand now, you will then. And I'll think about what I was going to say. Can't be important. I'm going to get all primary teacher on you and cut up some resources that we need for the next bit while you're doing that. How you doing? So the rider of the this is lovely. This links beautifully to what happens to your stomach when you go down a roller coaster as well, which I hadn't even tried to research. It just came up accidentally when I looked into this. So, are you okay with the fact that, like this cart here, this cart right in the middle, they're horizontal, aren't they? They could just be travelling along the ground. So, them in that car there, all these people have got inertia. In that car there, at that split second, if you could freeze frame this, that car is just travelling straight ahead, isn't it? It's just going straight ahead. So those people have got inertia. They don't want to stop doing what they're doing, and what they're doing is just travelling straight ahead. But the roller coaster, your body wants to go that way. I've written on the PowerPoint. But the roller coaster is forcing them to go downwards. They're strapped into this roller coaster. The roller coaster is attached to the tracks, and it's all pulling them downwards. So they're actually getting pulled down. But what they feel, because it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, they get pulled down, but what that ends up feeling like to them is that they're getting pulled up. I guess because what they just feel is the roller coaster train kind of moving away from them. So it feels like they're going upwards. That would be the centrifugal force. It would be them going upwards, but actually it's them being pulled down because their inertia means they want to go straight forward, but now they can't. And that's what that amazing feeling in your stomach, if you've ever been on a roller coaster, or you've ever been over any kind of like sharp hill really, even in a car, you get that sort of feeling where your stomach kind of comes up into your body. We don't actually know exactly what that feeling is. We don't know for sure what causes that feeling, but we do know that your body is strapped into the roller coaster car, but your internal organs, I tell you what, while we're talking about this, can you please, if you brought some string with you, you need to have a bit of paper on the end of the string. The paper, it's just any kind of weighted thing on the end of a string. Because in a sec, we're going to talk about what actual force is happening, and we're going to swirl some string around. So you just need to fold some paper up again and again and again and again. Just make a blob of paper. I can't think of a better word for it. Make a blob of paper, and then tie the blob of paper to the end of a piece of string, okay? While I'm chatting on about this, so that we can whirl it around our heads. Yeah. So we feel like our internal organs, our stomach is coming up into our chest, and that's a really weird feeling that some people really like, which is why you go on roller coasters. But what's actually happening is your body's attached to the roller coaster car, so your body's getting pulled downwards. But your stomach has inertia, and your stomach is floating a little bit more freely in your body. So your body moves down, but possibly what it is, or part of it is, that your stomach sort of has inertia, so stays in the same place and gets a little bit left behind. That's what that feeling is. It's good, isn't it? Okay, tie a bit of a blob of paper to a bit of string. We need to be able to do this because there is, in fact, actually a force, a proper real force, not this pretend centrifugal force. What should I say? Not real. There is a real force acting. For things to go round in circles, for things to do loop-the-loops, even for things to turn corners, there has to be a certain force acting. It's just not called the centrifugal force. Some of you will know what it's called, and some of you won't. I mean, like, you can't. So now we're talking about. Let's talk about those rides. They're called swing carousels. You've seen them. They're big circles. They've got like chains or ropes hanging from them. They've got little chairs at the end of the ropes, and when they spin around, you get flown outwards. I don't. You do. I've never been on one of these things. But it's really, really hard to believe, isn't it, that centrifugal force is not a thing. I mean, if you've got your blob of paper on the end of a piece of string, if you start spinning the string, what happens? Straight away the paper starts getting thrown outwards, doesn't it? It really seems like there must be some kind of force. This paper is getting pushed outwards, pushed away from the centre of the circle, surely. And the more it spins, the more it flies outwards. So Flamingo Land, I sound like an advert for Flamingo Land, they've just launched something called the pterodactyl, which is showing off about the fact that it spins so very much that you will end up almost like level with the ground, like that. But there is no centrifugal force there. There is no force pushing anything out of the circle. What is happening is there's a force. Well, can you feel, if you're doing it now, can you feel what the force is? This paper wouldn't be turning in the circle were it not for a force. It's actually a force that you are applying, obviously, because you made that motion happen, didn't you? It was still, and then you applied a force and made that thing go round in a circle. What sort of force are you applying? Oh, it's a very satisfying thing to do. You're not pushing the string away from you. I'll show you what's happening. I don't really want to rub off these beautiful words from my board. Come a little bit closer here. We need a diagram. Let's imagine that we're spinning our piece of paper and we've just frozen a point in time, okay? So I'll do the string as a dotted line. That's my hand in the middle. This is our big blob of paper. Say I'm spinning it and spinning it and spinning it, and then like you shout freeze, and I just managed to freeze space-time. What would we see? We would see this piece of paper wanting to travel straight ahead in that direction. It's got inertia. It wants to go straight ahead. But what do? I pull on the string. So it isn't allowed to keep travelling that way forever. It's got to turn around in a circle. And if I let it turn for a bit and then we shout freeze again, what's happened? Well, now it's moved a little bit further on and it wants to be moving in that direction, but I'm not going to let it. I pull on the string and it moves around in a circle, and you could keep going and going and going like that. So what's actually happening when you turn something in a circle is that the poor thing just keeps wanting to go off in a straight line, but it keeps being pulled inwards, so it's not allowed to go in a straight line. So actually, what's happening here is the force that you're applying is you're pulling on the string. It's the tension on the string. And this pulling in force, it could be tension on a string, it could be loads of different things, but for something to move around in a circle, there has to be a force acting towards the center of the circle. And it's called the centripetal force. Which I can say loud and proud, because even if you do IGCSE physics with me, centripetal. There. You will learn about that. Institute of Physics is very happy with the fact that that is a real proper force and definitely is happening, isn't just an illusion that because you've forgotten that you're turning. So centripetal force is any force that is acting towards the centre of a circle, making things go round and round. So it was so important I wrote it down on a slide. If you've been to my website and you've got the free printout, you've got this in front of you. So a blob on a piece of string wants to go like this way, this way, this way, this way. But the string doesn't let it. The string keeps pulling it inwards. So all objects going around in circles are experiencing a force acting towards the centre of the circle called the centripetal force. It doesn't have to be tension in the string. So if, for example, if you've seen the walls of death, an absolutely amazing, brilliant thing. Seek them out. A wall of death is basically, it's usually made of wood. It's like a wooden cylinder, a bit like a massive wooden mug. And people go and stand at the top and look down. And someone gets in a motorbike or a car and drives around in the middle of the semicircle, like that. It's incredible. It looks like it breaks physics, but it's real. What is happening is the car's trying to go straight ahead, but the wall pushes on it, right? It's the same when you do a loop-the-loop. You're trying to go straight ahead, but the track gets in the way and pushes you towards the centre of the circle. So you try and go that way, but then the track gets in the way again and pushes you towards the centre of the circle. So on the wall of death, the centripetal force, the force pushing towards is the centre of the circle, is just like the force of the wall pushing back. Okay, what affects centripetal force? Go on a little journey with me. Imagine you get a call from your friend. They're super excited because they've built a roller coaster in their garden and they want you to come and try it out. You're going to be the first person to try this roller coaster out. So you go around your mate's house and there's a loop-the-loop. There's a roller coaster, there's a train at the top of a big hill and it goes down a hill and then it does a loop-the-loop. Imagine looking at this loop-the-loop and thinking, nah mate, I love you but I'm not getting on this thing. That roller coaster is not going to get around that loop-the-loop. You would know straight away, wouldn't you? You would be able to just look at a roller coaster car, you'd be able to look at the height of the hill, you'd be able to look at the loop and you'd be able, if it wasn't going to work, you know it wasn't going to work. But why? What is it that affects centripetal force? I've put, like, here is an actual loop-the-loop on a roller coaster. What could you change about this loop-the-loop so the roller coaster didn't make it around the loop? Or picture the roller coaster in your mate's garden. What would it be about? What would it be about the car? What would it be about the loop that just made you think, I can just feel, because of my experience in the world, that thing's not going to get around that loop? Because that's going to affect the centripetal force. The centripetal force has got to be enough to make something go round in a circle. And we know this, right? Because we've just done this with the string. If I said to you, can you get this paper spinning so that it's really flat, like parallel with the ground, you'd pull really hard on the string, wouldn't you, to get it to do that? You know that if you don't pull as much on the string, then you're not going to get as much centripetal force and the thing's not going to go around as well. So what is it about a loop-the-loop on a roller coaster? What is it affecting the centripetal force? That is what I'm saying. I'm just going to let you have a look now. Do you get what I mean? I'm loving the amount of likes to this video, by the way. I never say like and subscribe because I was born in the 80s and like and subscribe, it just sort of seems a little, you know, gauche and tacky. But I still love it if you do. I still love it when you do like and subscribe. And I should say, there's no comments on these YouTube videos, but if you've got a Facebook account, whenever I'm live on YouTube, I always put a post up on my Facebook page saying you can comment on this and I'll chat at the end. So at the end I will be going over to Facebook if anyone wants to say a little hello or ask a question. Okay, so some of you are saying the mass, like how much the roller coaster weighs basically at this level. Yeah, good one. Some of you might be saying the speed of the roller coaster. Again, excellent. Yes, absolutely. The speed of the roller coaster affects how much it gets pushed into the centre of this loop-the-loop. So you would know, wouldn't you, that if it was crawling along, that would be really bad. If it was going really, really slowly, it might get halfway and then fall off. So you know, you can just feel that it needs to be going at central speed. The other one is what we call the radius of the loop as well. So the distance between the middle of the loop and the outside, basically the width of the loop. Yeah, you would know if the loop was absolutely massive. You just know that the car wasn't going to get all the way around. And you're quite right. If you want the proper physicsy equation for centripetal force, then here it is, which obviously you need if you're going to build a roller coaster. You don't just make it and guess. You've got to put the numbers in. So it's the mass times velocity, basically a posh word for speed. So the centripetal force, the more massive the roller coaster car is, the more the centripetal force. The faster it's going, the more the centripetal force. And the bigger the radius, the smaller the centripetal force. So if you're going fast enough and the roller coaster loop-the-loop is narrow enough, like the radius is small enough, then you will get around. Whew! Right, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to teach you. And we can play. Oh no! We're gonna play bingo. But first of all, I've got 4 questions for you. Now, how do I phrase this? I phrased it badly last time. I've got 4 situations here. Some of them are examples of centripetal force. Forces acting towards the centre of a circle. And some of them are not examples of centripetal force. I've made it sound like it's half and half. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Anyway, have a go at this, and then hopefully if you'll be more comfortable, and then we can play bingo. Is it a centripetal force? Is this an example of centripetal force? The moon being pulled on by Earth's gravity. Is the moon being pulled on by Earth's gravity, is that an example of centripetal force? Yes or no? Is the wall pushing against a motorbike as it rides along a wall of death? Is that a centripetal force? Yes or no? Oh, great picture there from the 1930s. A child on a roundabout letting go and being thrown off as it spins. Is that an example of centripetal force? Yes or no? And the chains pulling on the passengers on a swing carousel. Is that an example of centripetal force? Yes or no? So I'll give you a minute on that, and then we can play bingo. Is the sound of me dancing in the background helping your concentration? Okay, a little clue then. It's not 50-50. It's not 2 are and 2 aren't. A lot of people on Facebook yesterday were insisting that it was, but it's not. It's not 50-50. Have you made your decisions? Should we go through it? The moon being pulled on by Earth's gravity. Well, the moon is going round in a circle, so there must be a centripetal force acting, right? If something's going around in a circle, there must be a force acting on that thing towards the centre of the circle. I keep saying pulling, it doesn't have to be pulling, but yeah, that is absolutely an example of centripetal force. Yes, that's what's keeping the moon going around the Earth, is the Earth's gravity pulling towards it. Another way of thinking of it is the moon is kind of constantly falling towards Earth, but missing. Same as the International Space Station, if you like space. The wall pushing against the motorbike as it rides along a wall of death. Yes, absolutely, that is the centripetal force. So in that case, it's a push. Motorbike tries to go straight ahead. Wall's like, nope, you must change. And the motorbike can't resist, so it goes. A child on a roundabout, letting go and being thrown off as it spins. No, that is not. That is the force that must not be named. That would be centrifugal force, that child would feel like they were being thrown off the roundabout. What would be actually happening? Well, I have two, let's call them diagrams here. This child in the first diagram is on a roundabout and they are holding on. So they are going round and round and round. They're attached to the roundabout, so they cannot resist changes in their motion. This child is not holding on. So imagine the roller coaster with the roundabout has been spinning and then the child has let go. What happened? Well, child has inertia, right? So child wants to keep travelling in this direction, but roundabout moves. So the child feels like they've been thrown off, but what's actually happened is child has carried on in the same direction and the roundabout has moved without them. So that is an example. The child is delusional, aren't they? The child, it's just an illusion. The child has forgotten that they're turning. So child is experiencing a force which isn't real. I mean, you know, a lot of scientists are like, of course it's real. If you feel it, it's real. But it's also an illusion. You know what I mean? The child has forgotten that they're turning. So the force that they're feeling isn't a real force. The chains pulling on the passengers on a swing carousel. Yeah, totally. That is centripetal force. That is very, very similar, isn't it, to what we just did with our piece of string. And if you would like proof of what I've said, then, is that okay? So it was yes, yes, no, yes. If you want proof of what I've said, all you have to do is, I don't like this bit, I always get scared that I'm going to whack myself in the face or hit something important. But if you spin your string round and round and round and you let go, what happens to the bit of paper? What happens is the bit of paper will just keep travelling in exactly the same direction it was travelling at the exact point where you let go. Why? Because you've removed the centripetal force. The centripetal force, the force pulling it towards the centre of the circle, is no longer there because you've stopped pulling on the string. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. Can you control it? Yeah, it's not as fun though. Right, should we play bingo? Let's play bingo. If you're new, if you haven't played bingo with me, then I don't assume that everyone has a printer, right? This one I suppose is easy if you've got a printer because you kind of printed off the bingo sheet. But if you haven't got a printer, don't worry about it. Can you just draw a grid on the board? Just draw like 3 lines across and 3 lines down, please. So draw 3 lines across, 3 lines down. And then you don't bother writing all the words. If you think the answer is A, you can see A is in the terrible lesson writes. A is in the bottom right-hand corner. So if you think the answer's A, just put a cross in the bottom right-hand corner, if you know what I mean. You don't need to bother to write all the words. Just draw 3 lines across now on a piece of scrap paper or whatever. 3 lines down, so you've got 16 boxes. Is that all right? Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions. And when you see the right answer, cross it off. And then if you get a line down, or a line across, or a line diagonally, then, I don't know, shout bingo to yourself and you will have had a bingo. And that is how bingo works. Okay, first question then. I wrote them down for you. I didn't bother on Facebook, but I was a bit more organised for this YouTube version. Question number, can't see it, can you? Question number 1, a something is a push or a pull. A something is a push or a pull. What is it? So from top left to bottom right, you've got centripetal, B, inertia, how old it is, how smooth its wheels are, no, its speed, maybe, C, force, centrifugal, shininess of tracks, yes, Inari, D, A. The first question is, a something is a push or a pull. Got it? Next question, oh, behold my organisation. Number 2. What's the name for a force acting inwards towards the centre of a circle? What's the name for the force that acts inwards towards the centre of a circle? Centripetal, B, inertia, how old it is, how smooth the tracks are, no, its speed, maybe, C, force, centrifugal, shininess of tracks, yes, Inari, D, A. So what is a push or a pull? And what's the name for the force acting towards the centre of the circle? Number 3. Which one of these is an imaginary force? Which one of these could be described by some harsh physicists as an imaginary force? It's not real. You're delusional. It's an illusion. You've just forgotten you're turning. It's not an actual force. Question number 4. I'm running out of space. Question number 4. Is feeling like you're being thrown outwards centripetal force? Is feeling like you're being thrown outwards centripetal force? Is that what centripetal force is? So number 1, a something is a push or a pull. Number 2, what's the name for the force that acts towards the centre of the circle? Number 3, which one of these is an imaginary force? And number 4, is feeling like you're being thrown outwards, say if you go around a corner very fast, is that an example of centripetal force? Number 5. What is the word for the tendency of an object to resist changes in motion? What's the word for the tendency of an object to resist changes in its motion? Stuff likes to carry on doing what it's doing. What's the one handy little physics word we've got for that to mean stuff just wants to keep doing what it's doing? Question number 6. Here it is. I started cutting them up and then I decided not to. Question number 6. Which one of these things affects whether a roller coaster car can do a loop-the-loop? Which one of these things in your bingo grid affects whether a roller coaster car can do a loop-the-loop? Is it how old it is? Is it how smooth its wheels are? Is it its speed? Is it the shininess of the tracks? Is it Inari? What is it? And then for this next one, I need to show you a picture. Next question. I'm going to show you a diagram now, and I want you to tell me which way is the centripetal force acting? Here we go. Which way is the centripetal force acting? So you've got a picture of the moon here, picture of Earth. We've got A, which is a force acting towards the middle of Earth from the moon. We've got B, which is a force going outwards into space from the moon. We've got C, which is a force going in the direction anti-clockwise, and D is a force going clockwise. Which way is the centripetal force acting there? Question number 7. What is the third letter of the alphabet? Did you get a bingo? I'm hoping that you've got a bingo because there is no other question. Should we go through the answers? So, question number 1. A force is a push or a pull, right? That's all a force is. It's just a push or a pull. Question number 2. The name of the force that acts inwards towards the centre of the circle. That is centripetal. Say it loud, say it proud, so the Institute of Physics can hear you. A centripetal force. It must be there for something to move in a circle, but it can be anything. It can be friction or something pushing or something pulling, whatever. Question number 3. The imaginary force. The force which must not be named is the centrifugal force. You feel like you're getting pulled out, but you're not. I can't read this. Who did this? It's supposed to be an accessible lesson. Is feeling like you're being thrown out with centripetal force? No, it's not. No, it's what you would call centrifugal force, if anything. It's an illusion. The tendency of an object to resist motion is called inertia. Inari is a delicious Japanese dish. Question number 6. What affects whether a roller coaster car can do a loop-the-loop? It's its speed. If it's not going fast enough, there won't be enough force pushing it towards the centre of the loop-the-loop, and it will. I don't even like thinking about it. It's got to be going fast enough. And finally, on this classy little diagram that I'm not going to bother to flip round. Well done if you said that it's the force of gravity sort of pulling the moon towards Earth, which is the centripetal force in that situation. So it was A. So you should have had a diagonal bingo. Now, it came to light yesterday on Facebook that I always do diagonal bingos. So if you're a regular, I can only apologise. I'm going to work harder to be more imaginative with my bingos. I think I've only ever done diagonal ones. It's just nice, isn't it? It looks pretty. I'll change it. I'll change it for next time. Or will I? Right. That is the end of our lesson about the physics of theme park. Loop the loops. So next week, oh, I'm so excited. Next week, I've got one here for other reasons. But next week, if you've got a wine glass, can you bring a wine glass full of water for next week? And maybe some other things as well. I need to finish planning it. But we're going to look at safety in theme parks, why your whole body doesn't just kind of vibrate to pieces when you go on a roller coaster and things like that. It's really interesting. You might even might actually keep people up on a string. I didn't tell the others that, but it might be quite useful to have a blob on a string with you. Right, I'm going to go. I will go over to my Facebook page and see if anyone's left me any comments, because like I say, there's no comments on YouTube, but whenever I'm live on Facebook, I always put, when I'm live on YouTube, I put a post on Facebook saying, if you want to go and comment, then I'll say hello at the end. So you've got time to do that if you want to. I'll do my little ad, because it's an exciting time to support me. And some of you will be new and will not be understanding how I'm just teaching for free into the internet in the middle of the day. It's my job. It's so good. This, we just accidentally, me and the home educating community, of which I am now one, because you're very persuasive, we just fell into this during lockdown. I started streaming lessons for free, and then the home educating community wanted me to keep going. So I said, well, okay, this is obviously the best job ever. If you pay me, then I will. So there's this website called Coffee, which a lot of podcasts use. If you go to my About section, you find this link to this website called Coffee. It's in my About section of YouTube, which you're on because you're watching this. And yeah, I've just said to people, if you send me £5 a month, then that's enough to keep the lessons going. And you are, like, even though you don't have to. Everything that I do is free. I stream the lessons for free, just like this. They're all saved for watching on catch up on my website. There's no, you don't have to put a password in or pay or anything. They're just there. The printouts, if you want to use those, are totally free as well. I do this all ages lesson, which is sort of the most popular one because it's suitable for most people, I guess. I do a Lego story show where we chat about a topic and I tell a little story with Lego. And we do another activity. If you're watching live, that's coming up at 10:30 on YouTube. And I do an IGCSE physics lesson. And yeah, I just say, if you could pay me £5 a month, if you could chip in £5 a month towards my wages, then please do. And you are. So there's enough of you watching that £5 a month is enough for it to be a job for me. It's just accidentally worked out beautifully. And if you do sign up to support me, I send you thank yous. So I said now is a really good time to sign up. It is. So usually, I'm looking around for them. Where are they? Usually when you sign up, well, if you sign up now, you still get my welcome pack, which is some rainbow glasses that make you see rainbows, this information sheet I wrote about how they work, and a past issue or two of Theatre Science magazine. So you can support me with like £5 or £6. You can support me with £9. You can support me with like £1 billion if you like. But anyway, you get sent 1 or 2 past copies of Theatre Science magazine, which is very good. I don't big myself up in a lot of areas of my life, but Theatre Science magazine is really good. It's the science magazine that I would want to get. And it's good because it takes me a really, really, really long time. It's not like pages of fun facts about squirrels. It's like proper, beautifully researched, very well written stuff. So there's like, in this one about mould, there's a choose your own adventure, there's a comic about how penicillin was discovered, there's a load of information about mould and fungus, and I put in a free home compostable plastic bag so you can grow mould and look at the different colours and try and spot the different colours. If you sign up with £6 a month, you get the sleep issue as well, which comes with some organic lavender, there's another comic and choose your own adventure. But, if you are a regular supporter of mine, you have been waiting forever for the next issue of Theatre Science magazine. So people who sign up, you're just automatically on the list. So the next magazine that I've written. But it can take ages. Like, it can take months. It can take a year. The next magazine is here, guys. It's actually here. I'm just going to refresh my Facebook page so I can see your comments. Do you want to see it? Yeah, you do. You do. Come on, have a look. It's about spies. Oh, there we go. Brilliant. Those are comments. So, yes, if you are supporting me, then over the weekends, I'm going to get my brand new magazine, which has arrived at my house, all packed up with all the little free gifts. And I'm going to post it to you. So I'm going to say that if you sign up now, if you sign up sort of before, like, I think midnight on Sunday, maybe, let's say, then there's still time for you to get the normal welcome pack and get posted the Spy magazine. I think after that, I'm going to take the Spy magazine out of circulation because it's massive. It's so much bigger than the usual magazine that I send. The first ones were like 20 something pages, and this one's 56. Yeah, come on, have a look. I'll try not to do any spoilers. But it's got like code. It's got beautiful long big. I sent you an envelope. I failed miserably, but I've sent you a little envelope, and I want you to try and open the envelope without making it look like you've opened the envelope. You know, classic spy stuff. There's a story about Mary Queen of Scots. There's a beautiful comic. I'm trying not to show you. Oh, yeah. So there's a jigsaw in the middle. I think I made this up. I'm really pleased with this. You've got to cut out the jigsaw, rearrange the pieces to make the jigsaw, and then if you turn over the pieces that are yellow on this map, because there's letters on the back of the jigsaw pieces, then you reveal a secret message, like the answer to a question. I'm very happy with that. Oh, yeah. And there weren't envelopes, or envelopes were rubbish in Mary Queen of Scots' time. So they used to do this thing called letter locking. So I've sent you some instructions so that you can lock your own letter. And I've sent you a little cube of sealing wax so you can heat it up and then stamp the envelope. Now, this piece of wax looks like nothing. It's actually probably the most expensive thing I've ever sent with a science magazine. This is a tiny little cube, but it's vegan and it's plastic free, and it was made in the UK to a really old recipe. And it was hand poured, and I put them in these nice little bags. And then, I'm sending you that with the magazine as well. So I'm super excited about it. So if you are a supporter of mine, thank you so much. Like, literally, these lessons couldn't happen without my supporters. So we are all me and people who cannot support me are all very, very grateful to you. So yeah, you deserve nice things. So I will hopefully be posting you nice things. It's bank holiday on Monday, so there's no post. But I'm really hoping that by Tuesday I will get it out. All right, let's see who said hello. I've got to do Lego Story Show, haven't I, in 38 minutes. Hello, Abba. She loves that feeling in your tummy. Yeah, do you, when you go over a bridge? Yeah, me too, actually. It's weird because I cannot go round and round. I couldn't even turn round in a circle now without feeling awful. But I love going, oh, can she do a shout out to Tilly and Wilf? Ah, that's nice. Tilly and Wilf, Abba is saying hello to you via me. I love it. I love it. All right, Jancy. Hello, Jancy are here. Jancy's like my cool band name for Jay and Daisy and Daniel. All right, Jancy. Hello. Daisy would like to know, Daisy stepping out of Jancy to speak for themselves. I like that. All right, Daisy. I never get to talk to you just on your own. Daisy says, if you jump when you're travelling on a moving bus, come on. If you jump when you're travelling on a moving bus, do you end up in the same place in the bus or end up a bit further back on the bus? Excellent. That is such a good physics question. That's the kind of physics question that we were talked about when I was like training to teach GCSE and A-level. Yeah, it's a very good question because you're thinking about your inertia. So you're jumping and then you're landing again. Yeah, there's loads. Physics Girl has done a really good video on this. I think it was Physics Girl. Was it Veritasium? Someone's done a really good video where they have a helium balloon in their car attached to the car and they like accelerate and stop and they watch what happens. Yeah, let's think about, you would jump up so you wouldn't be attached to the bus anymore. So, but you, I see what you mean, because you would have, right. I was going to say, yeah, you're right. You'd be like floating in space and the vehicle would move forwards and you wouldn't. So when you landed, you'd be further back. But of course you have got inertia, haven't you? And you've been travelling forwards. So you've been travelling forwards and you jump up. You're still travelling forwards. Oh my goodness, I don't know. You're really scraping all of the physics teacher training out of me that I haven't used for a while. I'm going to have to... I mean, I'm awful. I never want to like say yes or no unless I'm absolutely 100% positive. I'll have to look that up. Hello, Tor. I need to start saying hello to people. Daisy, that's such a good question. Hello, Isabella Thomas. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. Our favourite ride, says Talitha and Mark and Simon, is Speedway, and now we know why we feel what we feel. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Oh, that's so good. That's the whole point of theatre science, isn't it? Having time to really dig into the actual feelings that we feel in real life. Oh, guys. Whoa, guys. It's Sophia's first week of home ed. Not even Sophia's new to this. Sophia's first week of home education. That's oh my goodness, I'm so privileged, Sophia, that you're here. You joined us for your very first week of home ed. Oh, congratulations. Wow. Oh, that's nice. Look, Bella's saying, oh, people are saying welcome. That's so lovely. Welcome. Wow, what a journey you've got ahead of you. Hello, Magnus. We were in Leeds the other day and went to see the Roman mosaic recommended by another member of the Science Alliance. So, Sophia, I basically have nothing to do with this job. I just come on the internet 9 times a week, 7 times a week, and people just make stuff up. So you're in the Science Alliance if you watch these lessons. That's just a name that they made up. So someone from the Science Alliance recommended the museum in Leeds. I'm so near Leeds. And you went to see the Roman mosaic? No way. Is this... Is that the wolf that gave Romulus and Remus milk? Sorry, this is quite boring for people like Sophia. We did the Romans a couple of modules ago. And so this is an actual Roman mosaic. Magnus, that is so cool. What is... So that's the wolf. Oh, yeah. So Romulus and Remus apparently sort of founded Rome. Actually, Romulus killed Remus is a whole thing. But when they were babies, they got sent down a river and a wolf found them and gave them their milk. So that is... That's what this is showing. Is that... I can't laugh. It was a long time ago. They did the best. And it's made up. I couldn't make a better mosaic, but that is wild. Thank you for that, Magnus. I need to go and see that. Hello, we had a power cut in Spain and people at the theme parks were stuck for a while. Oh, Chloe. Oh, that's so funny when it's not you, isn't it? That's awful. That is awful, though. Imagine if it was really hot and you needed water and shade. That's awful. Hello, Sophie and Emily and Katie and Hannah. They just woke up in time to watch you live. Oh, that's nice. Emily said she tried the ball mug toilet roll experiment and one time the toilet roll fell into the mug and the ball went outside of the mug. What? I don't know how many times you have to do it before that happens. That's cool. There's no way I could make that happen if I wanted to. Edmund found the starter question difficult but thinks you would maybe experience push towards B. Yeah, do you know what, Edmund? I actually found that hard as well. He states that on a larger scale, the centripetal force could actually be gravity. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, when I first imagined it, I was picturing myself doing that, actually. Going round a tight corner. I was picturing that. But I think that's just me. Actually, I know why I'm picturing doing that when I go around a corner. It's because quite often the tracks aren't parallel to the ground, are they? They're on a slope. And that's why they're on a slope, because of that centripetal force. So if you're thinking when I go around a corner, I do that, it is probably because the roller coaster tracks are making you do that as well. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't as simple as I've made it sound. Hello, Frank and Effie. Hello. All right. Now then. Hello. Joyful Maths with Ruth. We made banana bread this morning. Effie says we used a force to put it into the oven. You did indeed, because it was still. And then you pushed it in the oven, presumably. God, that's nice. Oh, what are you doing to me? Showing me that. Hope you have a nice time today, by the way. Joyful Maths and Ruth, with Ruth and I trying to meet up, and then home ed happening and being like, actually, there's quite a lot of fun stuff to do. Let's meet another time. Have a lovely day, Frank and Effie. Thanks for... I just want banana bread now. Hello, Amelia. I, Elizabeth, saw a wall of death as a child. It was incredible. There was a rider and then a passenger as well doing stunts. Yes, when I was teacher training in Bath, there's this fairground, not very environmentally friendly, that runs like entirely on petrol, or is it steam? Like they're burning coal? I don't know. Anyway, there was a lot of carbon dioxide involved, but it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Yeah, so noisy. It was an actual car. You just don't think that it's possible, do you? It's really something to see. Sometimes I set up the laptop super early on the right page than my daughter. Ah, that's nice. Oh yeah, I was joking. I actually was loving it. I logged on with dripping wet hair and having had no coffee this morning. And there were 3 people waiting at like 8:30. It totally made me feel really cool. I see, yeah, so you weren't actually there. Okay, yeah, that does make me feel better. Hello, Lana and Finley. This is the best block you have ever done, in Finley's opinion. Second best in Lana's, first goes to my mycology lessons. Wow. I think probably the Science Alliance agree with you, actually. I think this is one that's been quite well attended, and probably mycology was the best attended, like mushrooms. I don't scream on roller coasters because I'm scared. I scream because it is fun. The force that must not be named. Exactly, the Voldemort of forces. I love how we're all brave enough to say Voldemort. I can say Voldemort. I'm not going to say centrifugal. Don't say that word. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for that. That is good feedback. Ruba and Oski. I'm going to start calling you Oski and Ruba. Hiya. You're loving this term as well. Had to watch last week's on catch up yesterday and want to know if the loo roll has come down for your ceiling yet. Yes, it has. I'd forgotten we did that. It has, but I needed to blow my nose yesterday during the lesson and saw some toilet roll on the floor and thought, oh, I'll use that, and then realised that I couldn't because it was, basically papier-mâché. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's good, wasn't it? We should do that activity more often. Hello, Cody and Emily. We are very happy to have another lesson on roller coasters. Yeah, right. We'll touch on roller coasters even next week. They are kind of they're the main event, aren't they? When you think of theme parks, you think of roller coasters. We're also going to do, I know it sounds really boring, but I think it's going to be fascinating. We're going to talk about the science of queuing as well, and how theme parks manage queues. Because personally, when I think of theme park, I think of terrible, really expensive food, roller coasters, and queuing. The queuing's a really big part of the reviews, isn't it? If you have to queue for a long time, that is not a good theme park. So I think we should talk about that. Hello, Grace and Hope. Hello. Oh, Bella, I am so excited about the new magazine. I'm so excited. It's great because my house is full of boxes and stamps and little bits of wax and bags. And it's always a really nice feeling because when the magazine goes, you have got the magazine and I can finally breathe again and not get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. But also it feels like my house is really tidy just because there's no longer any boxes there. I have actually gone on a roundabout and accidentally let go. Oh, Bella, you have experienced the fact that it might be an illusion, but it can still hurt, right? I was thrown off and my friend was laughing so much. Okay, all I heard was her laughing, then it would go quiet, then I heard her laughing again because she was going so fast on the roundabout. That's excellent. If you do IGCSE physics with me, that's almost like Doppler effect. This bingo caused tension in our house. As me and Mum have different answers, she was wrong. Excellent. That's good, Bella. That's good. We're investing in the next generation, right? It's too late for your mum. Your mum's just having fun, like me. It's important. It's more important that you understand. Mum, Inari is not forced into food. Hello from Bella. Happy Beltane! No! Is that a pagan festival? My wonderful husband, because I got really into paganism, because I started teaching these lessons and ended up researching like throughout the years. I have basically pieced together the whole history of the UK and got really into paganism. And my husband downloaded an app which shows you like every single pagan festival there is. And I think he mentioned that one quite recently. Also, I got my cast list back. I forgot to say last week, I am playing the role of Mad Hatter. Bella, what? Are you being serious? You're the Mad Hatter. What? That's like the roller coaster of the Alice in Wonderland world. That's amazing. Oh, my days. Alice is the queuing and the Mad Hatter is the roller coaster. Wow. That's so cool. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe you're playing Mad Hatter. Oh, I'm just picturing how fun that would be to do. What's the Dormouse? Is the Dormouse a person? Or is the Dormouse a puppet? What's happening? I must hear more about this production. Hello, Imogen and Ophelia. Hello. Yeah, eager. Yeah, exactly. Right, I'll do a refresh and then I'd better go because I haven't reset my Lego story from yesterday, in fact. But I'll just see if anyone's put any more comments. Oh, not too many more. Let's have a look. Let's click latest. I have gone on a bit, haven't I? I have gone on a bit today. It's not my fault you lot are interesting, is it? That jumping up and down, I feel like that is physics teacher 101. I should have known that. Oh, look! Someone's commented on I think the wolf looks like... Someone's saying that this wolf on this mosaic looks like number 3 from Number Blocks. Completely agree. Wow, I love that the Science Alliance has all the same references. It does look like number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number Blocks. Oh, it's Dexy! Dexy, how is the Science Alliance doing? So excited for the new magazine. I am so excited for the new magazine. I have watched a series called Traitors, and they have the wax stamp. Really? I got bingo. Well done. Sadly, I hardly get to go to roller coasters because I live in Wrexham, and I don't travel anywhere with roller coasters, but I will never go to Alton Towers. You'll never go to Alton Towers? Really? Is that... You've made that sound like it's sort of the principle of the thing. Alton Towers are... I mean... If there was only some sort of eco-friendly theme park where all the packaging was genuinely like home compostable and the food was vegetarian. I'm not even a vegetarian, I just think there's just so much. Anyway, yeah, I shouldn't go on. But I don't generally like places, I just have to admit this now, I don't like places where you go and they are in complete control, and like all the money that you spend goes to the same person. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no small independent businesses, is there, in a theme park? There's no way you can go to give like a local person some money which is going to help their family. They're all going to the same massive company. And I know a lot about those massive companies because I used to work for the York Dungeon, and the York Dungeon are owned by Merlin, who also own Legoland and you certainly used to, I don't know, a bit out of touch, but like the Sea Life Centre and theme parks, and they're just generally like, you know, just lots of companies that you don't know are owned by the same people. All the money's just going to... Anyway, I'm really making theme parks not sound fun, so I'm going to go. But what I'm saying is, I don't worry too much about... Maybe Blackpool Pleasure Beach is reasonably independent. I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't worry too much about not being able to go on roller coasters that much. You'll appreciate it more when you do. Okay, I'm gonna go because in 24 minutes I've got to do a Lego story show about cats versus fish, because that's what you requested, and the Lego story is a bit of a mess. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for joining me, Sophia. Congratulations, welcome to Home Ed. I will see some of you next week for how you why you don't vibrate to bits when you go to a theme park. And Lego Story Show next week is on clocks if you want to come to that. But anyway, yeah, I'll see some of you soon for cats versus fish. Bye!